Before we go inside, just take a little tour of the exterior. The house is covered with cedar shingles, but they are not original. According to the neighbors, these shingles have been on for about 60 years. And while they're pretty weather beaten now, and I'm not going to restore the shingles, I'm actually going to remove the shingles. But the shingles have done a very good job at preserving the original clapboards, which are underneath the shingles. And you can see them right there here under the porch. And those clapboards are as good as the day they were installed. I'm on the leeward side of the house now, and these, of course, under the porch have been pretty much protected. I exposed a spot on the other side of the house, the windward side, and the side that gets the weather, and they're in not much worse condition than these are. So when the shingles come off the side of the house, the clapboards will be revealed, and they will all get stripped, primed, filled, and painted. The house is basically a T shape in plan. The front part of the house here is the upright of the T, and the back part of the house, which goes across the entire back, is the crossbar of the T. Most of the windows are original. There are a couple of replacements. I plan to put original windows back in and then do a double glazed storm at each window. The concrete on the porch is not original. That originally would have been a wooden deck on the porch. If you can see here, the top 3 courses of the brick were built up for the purposes of putting the concrete around the porch. Obviously, the original decking must have rotted away. I plan to remove that concrete and to restore the wood deck, taking down the top 3 courses of brick as appropriate. Across the street are a couple of houses that have similar porches, and of course the original porch columns would have been wood, and there probably would have been some bric-a-brac or gingerbread, but that's long gone in this house's condition. The roof on the house is about 6 years old, and it is in very good condition. When the roof was done, the eaves, fascia, soffit, etc. were done with aluminum and vinyl. So if there was any gingerbread at that time, that was probably all stripped off and thrown away. The only major problem with the gutters are here around the porch. There is a gutter that goes all the way around the porch, and unfortunately it is sloped back toward the house where there's a downspout. When I got the house, the downspout openings in the gutter at the porch eave were completely blocked, so the water would just back up and overflow, and as you can see, there is some damage to the corner of the house. But I think the shingles have taken the brunt of that damage, and inside the original clapboards are in pretty good condition. There is some evidence of leakage, but nothing that can't be repaired. The house, again, is a Victorian Gothic in style generally, and as is often the case with a house of this vintage, not only is there a front door, but where the porch meets the house, there was originally a door right there, and there is one on the other side. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that up and make it a window, and on the other side where the original door is still intact, it's non-functional, but I'm going to remove the door and put a window in at that location. So that will go away, and a window will go in its place. The door will go away. The windows are pretty much uniform in size, except for this one here in the front. This one is wider than the rest of them, and all of the windows had shutters. You can see the hinges on the shutters there. One of the things I don't like when siding or additional layers of siding are put on the house, in this case the shingles, is the fact that you lose the detail of the window frame. The exterior window frame pretty much gets sunken in, if you will, and so there's no profile that is visible. So once the shingles come off, and then I'll get the depth of the window frame and its detail restored. These shingles, by the way, are 18 inches long with 6 inches to the weather, so at any point there's about 3 layers of shingles almost an inch and a half of depth covering the original clapboard siding. So you can see if an inch and a half is removed from the side here, that I will get a nice reveal of the original window framing.